I don't blame Rodgers for kicking the tires on the Vikings and until they tell him, yeah, let's move on. We're not interested now. If you're available in the spring and the summer after we get a look-see at JJ McCarthy and we're beginning to see the knee injury has defrayed him from our evaluation that we had of him initially, or he's just not ready yet physically. He's still the same guy. He could use one more year. Then we'll be interested. And if you're around, but just you have to understand, we drafted him. We like him. We have been seasoning him. We got to see it. Makes sense. Rodgers telling the Giants and the Steelers, I'm going through a process. Makes sense. But if the Vikings have now told him, you may move on, and if he looks at the Steelers and the Giants and goes, you know what? I'll just wait for the Vikings evaluation. Then the Steelers and the Giants have got to go, okay. Then we're moving on. And they make other plans. And then if Rodgers turns around in the summer and goes, oh, no, I really want to play football, well, then that's on him. But I don't blame him for wanting the Vikings because I was thinking about this, gents. Certainly because I'm rooting for JJ McCarthy. And when you are a kid coming into the NFL, man, oh man, I understand we have this conversation every year right around this time, certainly on draft night, certainly in the few weeks after the draft, and then watching a rookie go through his first season in the NFL. Nature versus nurture. How much does somebody's success in the NFL come from his God-given ability and where he's drafted? Because how many guys in this league go down the tubes or have to start from scratch at age 27, 28, 29, 30 because they were drafted in the wrong spot, a spot where the owner sucks, and a spot where there's always churning on the coaching staff.
Too much turnover.
Right. A spot where, you're drafted high, the team isn't ready for you, and suddenly you, like David Carr, are staring up at the blue sky.
Getting your brains beat in there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That will stunt your growth.
How many times? So that's the conversation. And last year we're like, Caleb Williams, man, being drafted, what a spot. He's got the weapons and he's got the defense, but what he didn't have was an offensive line. Mm-hmm. And what he also didn't have was a solid coaching situation by any stretch. JJ McCarthy has another JJ that he's throwing to. Right?
Yeah.
Like
Jettis.
Come on.
Heard of him.
Jordan Addison. They just signed Rondale Moore yesterday. They got Aaron Jones back in the fold. They put Jordan Mason on their roster to back him up. I was calling a Vikings-Jets game last year in London. Aaron Jones went out in the middle of it, and their running back situation wasn't the same the rest of the game. That would change now. You see how Jordan Mason backed up Christian McCaffrey last year, right? He was the waiver wire darling of the universe. Because the Vikings have a terrific offense, and in terms of your coach, he's the coach of the year who just signed a new contract. He's going nowhere, and his pedigree is to connect to somebody like JJ McCarthy and nurture. He's in an amazing spot. And Vikings fans have got to understand in Kevin O'Connell, Kwesi, and the ownership, you trust. Kid's a winner. He's lost one game since high school. One. And I saw what he can do. And Jim didn't turn him loose for various reasons. You got Blake Corum scoring 90 touchdowns.
He didn't have to.
Right?
Didn't have to. Your offensive and defensive line that year was
stellar.
Dominant.
Take a look at who's in the pros now.
Exactly.
From the last 2-3 years.
Yep.
Look who's coming this year.
He didn't have to turn him loose. And I always shoot you straight. Michigan didn't have anybody like Justin Jefferson. Okay?
I think we would have heard of them by now.
You know what I mean? But
the thing is, there ain't a whole lot of JJs out there.
And we'll see what Roman Wilson can do with the Steelers, but nobody like Jordan Addison either, man. Burners who are matchup problems for everyone. By the way, I didn't mention TJ Hawkinson coming back for a full year now.
Yep.
Get that offensive line handled. They made some nice moves in free agency. In my top 5, we'll be talking about this a bit more. But McCarthy's in a great spot. And he knows it, too. He knows it. So I don't think they're going to be knocking on Rodgers' door in spring and summer. If that is what is part of Rodgers' mindset, who the hell knows, right now? What his mindset could be as to why he's not jumping on with this. Like, all right, the Vikings have closed the door. Is he waiting for another one to open, or is he really considering it, or he doesn't need to tell him right now, or I don't know. There's no deadline. He likes staring at the sunrise and sunset. I don't know. But at some point, he's going to have to come off the beach and tell somebody something. Mm-hmm. And I don't blame him for maybe this is him staring at the ocean and going, are the Vikings calling today? I don't know. It made sense to delay it, but JJ's in a great spot, and I don't think he's going to fumble it. Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.